All right, boys. So I got a lot of things about the dump swing and handler sets not getting open, and there's two main things that I already know exactly what's going on. A couple of them are because I've talked about them in practice when I was there, and I know for a fact Riley has said these as well. And Nick Hunter also kind of showed me this too when I was learning how to play. Right. So I got a field here, and I split it up into thirds. Okay. Splitting this field up into thirds is a different way to look at it because you guys are kind of looking at it like a football still. Frisbees float. They're not football. So I could be on this sideline here with the disc and then have like my 1, my 2, my 3, 4, 5, and then I'll take this brick mark out. And then our dump, like back here, right? These are thirds of the field, right? We split these into thirds so we know where we're covering, we know where our boundaries are, we know where we shouldn't really go to. This, say this is the backhand fourth side third. That's where this deep cut, that's where our 5 is going to be cutting to, right? And the essence of a dump relation, right? The first mistake, we want to attack this area of the field off a dump. That's what we're looking to do. We're looking to move that disc and swing that disc one way or the other, whether it's going to be with one throw off the dump or with 2 throws off the one going to that space, right? That's where we're looking. Or if we're still abiding by the upline and out rule that I tried to put in place months ago, then it's going to be the 1 down and then the 2 back, or the 1 down and the 5 back, or however you want to look at it, right? But we got dump right here. Dump can make an upline cut. That's good. The thing about the dump to get it back into this space over here is they have to track on this line. They're going to that space. So this disc can be thrown from here to here, nice and floaty, floaty, only our guy can get it, right? Because if this is the fourth side over here, then the defense is going to be somewhere on this side trying to stop that. So there's no chance this defender gets to this space of the field, right? But if we do what I know we're doing right now, because a lot of players, vets included, elite level players included as well, do this, they come up, and instead of coming back on that same or similar line to the other third of the field or the far third of the field, they come straight down, right? It's a triangle cut. You don't want to do that. You want to avoid that as best as possible. So this triangle cut is bad because you're not really gaining anything. You're still on one side of the field. It's still really hard to attack the other third. And you're just resetting the count at that point. You're not really gaining yards. You can gain yards this way or you can gain yards this way. So there's no real benefit to doing that. So as we go into practice these next couple of days, really focus on making that same line cut. Okay? Turn all the way around and cut back on that same line. And this dump thrower should overemphasize that swing. Okay? Overemphasize that swing. Because this defender, if he's following you and you make this cut and he's here, he can make this layout D right there, or he can shut that throw down, and now we're clogging up in this space. So if the 1 fills, you still can't get it 2. The 5 might get shut down, you can't get there, and now we're trapped. And I have a really, really, really solid feeling that's what's happening, because that's just a super, super, super common mistake in Ultimate among a lot of players, not just young players. Let me clear this up here. So, kind of moving on from that section, I want to talk about something that is also really, really uncommon or not uncommon, but it's I don't know what the word is. It's a mistake that needs to be corrected, and it's really easy to correct, right? I say effort a lot. When this disc is pulled, we've got to be set quick. Like, you should be sprinting to your spots, because we might catch 1 or 2 of their defenders up here. Somebody's post and you get that quick breakout. Same thing on defense, especially on defense. You don't want them to get 1 or 2 throws up to the middle. So we have to get set quick as possible, right? Let me put that dump in here. That's just a little tidbit that I know for a fact people don't do, is we have to get down and we have to get set O or D as quickly as you possibly can. else was I going to say? As far as cutters go, this is what I was going to say. As far as cutters go, why I think a few cutters aren't getting open is because we're just doing this. I know Colin does it a few times. Noah's gotten better with it. There isn't a whole lot of dynamics. It's just drive and go. And if I know you're not going deep, if I know you're just going under every time, I'm going to sit out here, let you do it, and then hawk this under, right? It's very, very, very predictable. So something that's kind of dynamic, and it's tough for young players to see this, but you can initiate out of a lot of different places. There have been many, many times where I'm the 5 and I'm going, hey, this guy is ripping up my first cut. 4, you're taking the first cut, and I'm going to continue off of that. It's a quick, easy adjustment. The flow isn't really messed up. You can also say, hey, 1, like they know we're looking swing real quick. So the 1, we're just going to pop you out. Get quick yards, 10 quick yards right there. So these are just a few things to keep in mind when you're practicing that are going to help you elevate that game a little bit and help you guys get open a little more, right? I'll loop back around to the third field thing. This just kind of tells me where I'm going. These cuts, you don't want to cut way out to the sideline. You want to cut down the stack and then adjust. It gives your thrower a lot more space to throw it to. And this cutter, or a cutter, will be able to adjust to the disc much better than the thrower having to like pinch it inside or something, right? You've got this extra defender here. So if you're cutting out, even if you're cutting under, but you're still cutting kind of towards the sideline, that defender can sit here and this window gets smaller and smaller and smaller with each step. It's kind of why these like upliney throws, if they're not right at the front cone in the end zone and they go out back this way, you've got 1, 2, and then 3 defenders here, and it makes the window way, way harder. So yeah, keep in mind of these thirds. Think back to the very first practice when I taught you guys vert stack. We had the 2 boxes here of like, hey, we want to keep these spaces clear. This is where we want to cut to. Think back to that stuff, okay? Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.